The Battlefield series has spent years defining the military shooter genre, but this year, Battlefield Hardline will stray from this formula and enter the foray of heists and street crimes. Set in the seedy streets of Miami, a drug war has broken out, and new detective Mendoza must follow the trail and stop the corruption using both sides of the law. This is Battlefield Hardline, developed by Visceral Games, the studio behind Dead Space.
Studdard said you loved being a cop.
Well, there's the horrible hours, the garbage salary.
First announced at E3 2014 as a new title in the Battlefield series, Hardline was envisioned by DICE as a new crack into the cops and robbers gameplay style. DICE originally wanted to develop a title like this, but Visceral took up the reins a year before Dead Space 3 shipped. The team wanted to introduce new game types such as heists, hostage situations, and high-speed chases, and the single player has been described as not entirely linear, with a promise to deliver a campaign more engaging than Battlefield 4. Featuring traditional first-person shooter controls of the previous series, Battlefield Hardline breaks away from the mold with new game types and urban setting maps. The title takes a shift in tone on war on crime, with main factions being the police special response units and the criminals in the game. Military-grade weapons and vehicles will still be available, along with special accessories such as handcuffs and tasers. The Levolution mechanic introduced in Battlefield 4 will be making a much larger return, with multiple Levolutions occurring in each map, such as a giant crane crashing into a construction building. The new modes include heists, blood money, hotwire mode, and rescue, where hostages must be saved. Much of the story for Hardline has been kept under wraps, with only few details slipping out from Visceral Games. Newly minted Detective Mendoza must team up with veteran officer Kai Mendao as they become embroiled in a large-scale drug war in the streets of Miami. They are introduced to various levels of crime and corruption within the police force, trying to weed out the bad apples and end the drug supply spreading throughout the city. The story is meant to be based off crime and heist movies, featuring an array of motifs that fans of the genre will recognize. Battlefield Hardline is the next exciting entry in the long-beloved Battlefield series, and while some fans and critics are wary because of its break from the military conventions it has come to be known for, there is still plenty to be excited about. Introducing a spin in the formula with cops versus robbers and planting players in urban settings not expected of the large maps seen in previous games, Battlefield Hardline plans to produce game types that engage players with multiple tasks while fighting off the crime in the city. Hardline releases on March 17, 2015 for Xbox One and 360, PlayStation 3 and 4, and PC.